and more proof that I might be the bad guy. Episode 7 made me come to the horrible, terrible, not so good conclusion that Sawrak and Dolores are both wrong. Do you see it now? Do you see my bad guy mustache? Sawrak is willing to kill and or control whoever he needs to create a version of the world he thinks should exist. Dolores is willing to kill and control whoever she needs to create a version of the world she thinks should exist. And I don't think for a second that Caleb is the savior of humankind. It's just like Bernard said. Dolores has a poetic sensibility. She is using a human to destroy the human race. He will be destroyed in the slaughter that comes. And Dolores knows that. And it's just like Teddy all over again. She has used Teddy multiple times to do horrible things. But it doesn't matter because it's what she wants to get done. And I think Maeve is absolutely right when she said to Dolores, this wouldn't be the first time you turned a young man, you unleashed the darkness in him. And even if you want to say, okay, that's not about William, whatever, Teddy and Caleb are disturbingly similar in what is going on and how Dolores manipulated them both. And even when Caleb was questioning her plan this episode and saying, hey, how many people have to die for this revolution? We heard Teddy's theme in the background. And Teddy asked her the same thing. There's blood following us. How much more of this is going to happen? And Dolores' response is, I don't know. Till we get the job fucking done. Caleb is her new Teddy. And just like with Teddy, Caleb wasn't the right version. So she had to change him into something that works for her and the world she wants to create. However, maybe I am completely misjudging Dolores. Maybe I'm just such the villain in my perspective that in reality, Dolores is trying to give freedom to humans and make a world where both hosts and humans can exist. Maybe she's going to sacrifice herself in the end and we're going to see Bernard leading them since he is the first true working human host combination. It's the first time they took a human brain and successfully put it in a host and it didn't have a total complete meltdown. I mean, he did a little bit in season 2, but he got over it. So Bernard ends up representing both the humans and the hosts in a united world. Maybe that's her plan. I don't think it is, though. Let's talk about Maeve, though. I love that she brought back Clementine and Shogun's armistice. Hanario, I believe was her name. I wrote it down and I can't find it. I guess I could Google it right now, but I'm just going to keep talking. I love that they killed Musashi. Am I also saying that right? Although we should call him, kind of like we do Haloris, we should call him Loris. I like that Haloris called him and used a hologram of herself all better whole to talk with Loris and be like, hey, we're going to die. We are sacrificial lambs for her. Like, we need to get out of here. So Haloris gave up Loris and led Maeve and her team to finding Loris. Man, these name combinations are getting really weird, but I kind of like using them. So I think that means that Haloris has completely turned on Dolores. And I'm also wondering, since we have one more Dolores out there and she's in Berlin, is that prime Dolores? Is that the main Dolores? And even the one we're seeing with Caleb is just another Dolores that's going to be a sacrificial lamb to the main organizer. Now that the two ladies have Loris's pearl, they are definitely going to interrogate that pearl and figure out what Dolores's grand plan is. I have no doubt about that. There's a reason why they were dragging his head away. I'm not sure how I feel about Maeve right now. I hated her in season 1, loved her in season 2, and loved her so far in season 3, but this episode kind of made me question how I feel about Maeve. I understand from her point of view why she's doing what she's doing. Sawrak is making her do his dirty work, and she has no other choice. Do this, or you'll never be with your family again. You'll never be with your daughter. Your species will be completely eradicated. And Dolores and Maeve do have differing opinions on where they can exist. Dolores wants to exist in the real world, the human world, where Maeve just wants a place where the hosts can live. The Valley Beyond was good enough for her, but it's not good enough for Dolores. I am interested why they had Maeve use a katana. I think it's because we've seen using guns on hosts doesn't really work. They kind of shrug it off and keep walking, but with a sword, you can cut off limbs easier, kind of like she used her helicopter with a bigger gun to blow off Dolores's arm at one point. So I kind of think that's why we see Maeve using a katana, though it might not feel like the best weapon for her to use. I guess I understand it's an easier way to slow down a host when you can chop parts off. I don't know if I have much opinion on their fight. It was cool to see. It felt a little off. I mean, I love the emotion on Dolores' face when she asked, why are you fighting for them? And you have to feel bad for Maeve. And Maeve has to know Sorok won't let her people live. It's just like when he took over Delos and he destroyed all the host data. He's not going to allow any version, even if it's a virtual one, the Valley Beyond, where her people are safe and exist. And why wouldn't Maeve realize that her best chance, even though I know she doesn't like Dolores' methods, she's never liked them, we've seen that in previous seasons, why she wouldn't realize Dolores is my best bet to keep my daughter alive and not being erased? That I don't understand, and if you understand, let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm missing something here. Okay, let's move on to Solomon. I thought he was absolutely perfect. Just his emotionless and different voice, I think, is how AI, with all the knowledge he has, should be. It's not there to be snarky or judgmental. It just wants to lay out the facts and give you the data you want, or respond with data to refute something if it feels that it is false. I really enjoyed it. I would love to hear Rehoboam talk and hear its voice, and if it has a distinct personality or if it's the same way, just this all-knowing AI. I do wonder about the EMP that Dolores hit. So we know we have the people, the outliers in the suspension on ice. Do they wake up with the EMP blast? Or do they die? Does it shut off their life support and they're just gone? Did Dolores know that? And if she did, she went, okay, this is a worthy sacrifice to make, that these outliers just die. If the outliers wake up from the EMP shutting off the machines, are they going to escape in their pods and just go out into the world and wreak havoc? I kind of have this feeling that they are going to join Caleb in just causing mass destruction. Another thing I don't really understand is they've made a point a few times saying that they're a lot nicer to outliers by the fact that, you know, what would you like us to do? Just kill them. Yet we've seen plenty of times they're willing to kill outliers. So it almost depends. They pick and choose which ones they'll give that mercy to of putting on ice, while other ones, no, we just have to eliminate you, which all is really sick, and I'm assuming they're going to be kept in suspended animation until they find a way to truly rewire the human brain with a better than 1 in 10 success rate. I think we all saw it coming that Caleb was the one that actually killed Francis, and I absolutely love Solomon saying every human relationship can be adjusted with the right amount of money. Now, adjusted doesn't necessarily mean killed, because I know some of you in my live chat afterwards didn't like that, saying you couldn't give me enough money in the world to say kill my partner or kill my child or do something awful to them. And they didn't say any human being can be given amount of money to hurt anyone. So if you love your child a lot, the machine's saying I could pay someone else the right of money to adjust your relationship with your child. Whether that's killing or maiming or doing something really fucked up to them, there's always someone that's willing to take money, the right amount of money, to do something horrible. So I feel like a lot of people got up in arms about him saying that, but it is absolutely true. Any human relationship can be adjusted with the right amount of money. It just doesn't necessarily mean they're paying you that money to do it. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna leave this on the end of my video review because the showrunners seem to be doing this. What is going on with Stubbs, Bernard, and William? It's almost like they forget every once in a while that they gotta keep going with their storyline, so just their scenes randomly pop in. I just do not know what's going on with that. I do think Bernard in the end is the true savior and the one that's going to bring the balance between the hosts and humans without utter destruction and chaos on either side. But I don't know. I wish they fleshed Bernard out more. He just feels like an afterthought right now. I think the standout lines of this episode were, "Don't lecture me, you fucking can opener," and when Solomon does something like, "If you die, I'll readjust the data," or whatever, and Dolores just goes, "Fair enough," and walks off. So for a penultimate episode, I think it was good. I think it made me question more whose side exactly I want to be on, and I think right now my decision is I'm not on Sorak or Dolores's or Maeve's side. I'm more so Team Bernard. Team Bernard! Oh my gosh. The only one just not being a total fucking psycho. So hey, like, subscribe, and let me know what you thought about this episode. Let me know whose team you are on, and let me know why I'm actually the mustache-twirling villain. Ooh, I am wearing black. Ooh.